There we go. Right, we're live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome if you're new to the channel, as I know a lot of you are. These Thursday hangouts, we're kind of going to mix things up moving forward, at least for a couple of weeks. We'll see how things go. So for today, it's going to be myself. Andrea's here, but she's not going to appear on this one. But I'm here with my good friend Lonnie, and we thought we'd experiment for a couple of weeks and see how this goes.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing great, Nick. I'm glad you invited me to this thing. We don't spend enough time with each other, man. So this is awesome. This is cool.
This is true. So hopefully many of my viewers are also your viewers. We have a huge crossover. But for those that don't, I will put the link below. But I've literally just walked in the door, so I haven't done that yet. But if you search garage flips or garage flips, as they say in the good old West, you will find Lonnie's channel, and I thoroughly recommend it. I saw we are live, by the way, guys. So if you're watching live, please pop in and say hello. I saw that Gary, Southwest Sellers, I don't know if you saw this comment. He says, "Good afternoon, Andrea, Nick, and Lonnie." Andrea isn't here, like I said, but two of my favorite resellers. Only 3 resellers who I watch every video, and you are 2 of them. So there's a
that's all. Isn't that cool?
That's amazing. I met up with Gary, actually. You know, I'm a huge Depeche Mode fan. I went to London to the Olympic Stadium to see them live a year or so back, maybe 2 years now, or even 3. And
I remember that.
And I met up with Gary, who was a viewer, obviously then and still is. Yeah, amazing. So I'll say a few quick hellos. Chelsea is in. Lisa Cotton, hello there. Margaret Stewart. Adrian is in. Welcome. Lots and lots of people. Richard Payne. So I'm going to try and get to the end of this. So we were saying we don't really have a particular plan for this or a plan moving forward, but we're going to see if we might try. Many of you will remember I used to do a weekly show with Zahir, and we used to go backwards and forwards between the channels, which worked really well for a while. So we've both kind of said we'll do it for 2 weeks and see how we feel. So for 2 weeks, that's the plan.
Yeah.
So next week we'll do this over on Lonnie's channel, and if we're both happy with it and it works, we may carry on.
We'll do another one, and then if that works, maybe we do it. Who knows? I mean, maybe we're sick of each other. Maybe we won't do this anymore.
Exactly. So you'll see how that pans out. So let us know what you think. Be brutally honest with us. Yeah. So to kick off, I thought I'd say, I mean, I watch your videos. I try and keep up to date. I thoroughly enjoy watching the road trip thing. Now, I didn't watch everyone, so maybe you explained how that works in one of the videos, but is that a yearly event, or is that just a one-off thing? How did that work?
Yeah, they do it every year. The one we went to, it was a Highway 70 sale, and I don't even know how long it was because we just did a little piece of it, but it mostly ran through like Tennessee, state of Tennessee. And yeah, like individuals will have yard sales along that highway, like at their house, or then in some places there will be like fields where people rent spots for maybe $10 or something, you know, kind of like a boot sale almost.
I was going to say, that sounds like how we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, dude, it's just so much fun, you know? And then like I met up with John and his family. And then Tennessee Picker, Kevin, we all met up. We got an Airbnb, which I don't know if do y'all have anything analogous to that there?
Yeah, we know that. We have that over here.
Okay, so yeah, we rented a house for a few days and met up there. And man, it was awesome. It was mostly a social thing, you know, but there was some picking going on.
With a bit of sourcing on the way, which was fun to watch. So is it as simple as on that one stretch of road, on a certain weekend, yard sales happen? It's as organized as that, or disorganized as that? Okay.
Yeah, you basically just roll down the highway, and then every now and then, hey, look, there's one, and you pull in. You check it out, and then you keep on rolling. Hey, there's one, and you pull in, you check it out, and that night you have some beers and whatnot, you know, and talk about the day and look at your footage you got on your GoPro. Then you wake up and do it again the next. I mean, it's just fun, dude. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I saw you quite a few times, both yourself and John, people have noticed the camera, and nobody seemed that bothered. Have you had any issues with that yet?
Not really. No. I mean, for the most part, like you've been filming a lot with your GoPro, like at boot sales, right?
Yeah, I'm comfortable now. I have a little tiny square one. I don't know if you've seen mine.
Oh, the session.
Hero Session, I think it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I experimented with the harness thing that's here. And I was so conscious of it. I was missing things in front of me. I was focusing on my camera and being self-conscious, and it was just messing with my head. Now I just hold it in my hand and forget about it if I can. So that's working. But I'm going to try and come up with some way of mounting it inconspicuously so I can forget it's there. Because I'm really conscious. And I think you just mounted it on your shoulder, do you, or something?
Oh, crap. I think.
What's up?
Yeah, I have it on a. It's around here somewhere. I'll show you. But I wear a backpack, right? And then I have this little clip thing that goes like this.
Yeah.
All right. And then this clips onto the strap on the backpack. And so it's just like sitting right here.
It's so obvious. Yeah. See, I'm still at the point where...
No, I'm not hiding it, you know? It's
yeah,
like
exactly.
Right
I'm at the point where I'm trying to conceal it because I'm self-conscious of it. Really am.
Hey, look, dude, the first weekend I did it, I felt like I was like, I don't know, man. I felt like I was stealing something or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was really weird.
It's a gray area going, I guess as well, walking up to someone's house and filming.
Dude, it's totally gray.
Where do you cross that line of I don't know what line there is to cross.
I don't know. I mean, like, whenever I don't know. It's gray. It's gray. It's tricky. It's fun. You get some great footage. But yeah, it's weird, man.
Yeah. I love those videos. I think they're my favorite videos to watch. And John's as well. John is so good at that. And seeing him negotiate and seeing him put together a deal is just inspiring and educational in itself. You just have to watch that and you know you're seeing someone who has so much experience in that.
My opinion, dude, right now, I think John is putting the best stuff out on the in the YouTube space, in the YouTube reseller space. I think he's got the best stuff.
He is so watchable. Yeah, great. I need to chat to him on a video again soon as well. It's been a long time.
When is question time? When is question time, Nick?
When is question time?
Are we going to have, yeah, some Damian Lankheat said question, when is question time? Are we going to have a question time? This is hard.
You can pop questions in as we go. We've got a couple of topics we were going to touch on, but if you've got questions, I'm going to scroll back and see if there were any now. Oh, hey, Steve. Steve Green is in. Let me see if there's any that have come in. Peter Ray, hello. Good to see you. Andrew Potter is in. He says, hello, guys. I decided to start reselling, inspired by you guys. Never sold anything before on eBay and struggling to sell my items. Any tips? Wow. I mean, where do you start? If you had to give one tip to a newbie, what would it be?
Okay, best tip I have is, and this is one I didn't follow at first and still don't sometimes, is to be extremely choosy with what you buy if you can. I mean, especially if you're doing part-time, like if it's not a full-time gig, be really choosy. Watch a lot of videos. Watch a lot of videos of what people are buying and selling, and then do your own research and then just be really like I bought a lot of crap, man. And I regret buying a lot of that crap. You know?
It's almost a rite of passage doing that, though, right? I think
you
almost have to mess it all up to come out the other side and go, okay, that's not what to do. And I still do it all the time. I still pick up things because I know I can make money on them, but they're not great profit. They're long-winded to list, and I just think, why have I ended up with this? But I think going back to the original question, I tend to say, start with something you know. Start with something you're comfortable with. You know, we always say if you've got a history of video gaming, start there. You've got a head start. You know what's a decent game, what might be sought after, and you've got a head start on that topic. So that would be my tip. Start with something you enjoy, that you're excited about. Otherwise, it's a chore from the beginning, and that's no fun.
Yeah, I mean, we all know something about something. You know, we all bring some kind of, like, either from our professional career or hobby. We know something.
Definitely.
So yeah, I agree with that. Dude, right before we started this, I just got in. Do you ever do consignment deals, Nick?
I don't think so. How do you mean? What is that?
Okay, consignment is like the guy that I typically buy stuff from. He bought some toner cartridges, laser toner, at a yard sale for $4 a piece. And he called me up, said he had it. He knew they were worth over $100 a piece. He had 6 of them. And he said, okay, how about you sell them for me and we split the profit? After all fee, take out all the fees, and then we split the profit right down the middle. And I was like, okay, you got it. So I didn't give him any money up front, but today I met him and I gave him the cut of the sale.
Okay.
So,
is that complicated for paperwork and tax reasons, or you basically invoice him for what he's gonna?
Yeah, I just expense that out. The money that I pay him, his cut, I just expense that out.
Yeah,
just a business expense. So
okay. Well, I mean that works fine. Yeah, as long as I guess you'd have to have something with a fairly healthy margin, otherwise it's not worth your time messing.
Right. I mean, this was a $600 sale, you know, so it was worth it. But anyways, I go to meet him today to bring him his cut. You know, I'm like, here's your cut. And I ended up meeting him at his storage unit. And I'm like, you got any more to sell? And he goes, and he opens up the door on the thing and he's got piles more stock. I ended up giving him like almost $300 for his cut on the laser toner. And then I ended up giving him another $800 for stock. Dude, I am so flush. Look, see this? Going down this aisle? See all this? I just picked this stuff up. I don't even have anywhere to put it.
It's like the best deal ever going on, because not only is it saleable stuff, most of it seems to be good margins. Obviously there'll be some lower stuff in there, but it's fun stuff, it's exciting stuff. Yeah. It's super. I mean, if you don't follow Lonnie's channel, do you want to explain roughly what this deal is you've got going on?
Yeah, so he buys out collections, he does storage unit buyouts, he buys out stores that are closing, and he keeps some of the stuff and then he bulk sells the rest off to guys like me. And he used to have several different guys that he would sell to. Like maybe one guy would buy Batman stuff. Another guy would buy like sports stuff. Another guy would buy, say, comic books. Another guy would buy video games. You know, he had all these different people he'd sell to. Well, I met him at his yard sale last year. And he asked me if I sold on eBay. And I said, yes, I do. And he says, I have more. And that's how I got started, dude. And now when I go meet him, he lays the stuff out in the hall and we walk and talk for about 2 hours. Look at the stuff, him and Hall. Oh, this is great. This is, you know, whatever. We just BS. And then at the end of it, we kind of dicker around on the price a little bit. And then I give him a bunch of cash and I leave with a van full of stock.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful relationship, man.
I watched one of those where you're at the storage facility, and like you said, it's literally lined up the aisles, and you're walking up and down. And does he give you a chance to look at? Do you look anything up, or do you kind of go, I reckon worst case scenario, it's worth this. I'm going to come in at that. Is it just spur of the moment figures in your head?
Yeah, I know enough now to know that the stuff he has is high quality stuff. And I can kind of eyeball it and I can say, well, that's like Walmart consumery kind of stuff. And then this stuff over here is higher grade collectible stuff. I've gotten to the point where I can kind of identify that now. I'm not always 100% right, but the margins are so sick on this stuff that it's hard for me to make a mistake.
Yeah. And I suppose the more of this stuff you sell, the more confident you're going to be valuing it anyway. You'll be able to look at it and go, oh, okay, they're $50 a piece or whatever. I'm happy with that. And yeah. But that was a fascinating video. I'm sure there's been a few, but the one I remember seeing where you're pacing up and down, you can almost hear your mind going. And then he sweetened the deal at the end and you were like, okay, yeah, keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Yeah, man, it's fun. I think that video, like I cut to the points where the deal was actually happening. And I think maybe I made it appear to be a little more tense than it really was based on my editing.
Right.
Because there's a lot of good natured laughing and stories. And I mean, it was a 2-hour thing. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Okay. And I cut to just the we're going back and forth and like 1,200. I'm like, oh, you're killing me, man. You know, like I keep it light, dude. It's I don't know.
It was a great video though. I need to say, I had a super chat come in from Tommy Bernhard of $19.99, which is amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. He says, thanks for having the best reseller in the States on. There you go.
Oh, Tommy. Oh. You know what's awesome though, Nick? You said his name right.
Oh, did I? Good.
Yes, because he always gets mad because people don't say it correct. Tommy Bernard. And you said Tommy Bernhard.
Oh.
You said it correctly.
Oh, most that was right. Oh, okay.
Skip
good.
the H.
Hey, Tommy. Colin is in and says, hey, just managed to find the channel recently, Nick. Been fun watching. Thank you. That means a lot. It is those little comments and stuff that we say it all the time, but it really reminds us that, you know, why we do this, and it makes it all worthwhile. So thank you for taking the time to comment. If you do have any questions for Lonnie or myself, just pop them in. We'll try and keep half an eye on it. It's easier if you put question in capitals. I can kind of glance down and see it then.
Nick, I got a question for you, man, because we have similar spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think your space is like about the same size as mine, the same shape and everything.
Yeah, I remember you asking me before. I think mine is slightly thinner, and it has a step in here, but it's roughly the same dimensions. I think if I had a row as you do up the middle, it would be too claustrophobic.
Too tight.
I think
that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I think you've got a few feet either side more than me.
Okay. I was actually going to ask you if you could put a row of shelving in the middle there or not.
It would be too much, I think. I used to have, when we first, I think I was filming videos at that point, these used to be this way round. So I'd have one here, well, back to back, a pair, and it was too constrictive then.
Really? Okay. Because it's hard, man, it's so hard to figure out how to do that. Because, like, I was actually talking to Tommy about this the other day. I'm trying to come up with different ways to do the shelving in here to maximize storage while also keeping it to where I can get to the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm not a skinny dude. So, you know, I have to have some aisles.
Well, one of the questions I wanted to ask you about is how are you finding the shed? And I've seen it pretty much fill up over the past few months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking that's your space, and if you fill it up, that's when you stop buying, or are you already thinking ahead to shed number 2?
No.
Come on, say a quick hello. Just pop in. Sorry, Andrea needs the keys.
Hello.
No, come on. Hey, Andrea. How's it going?
Right. Yeah, good, thanks. Need to get food.
Oh, you need to go get food. Okay, cool.
Oh, you're lucky, Nick. Nick's about to... I guess you're having dinner, huh? It's lunchtime here.
Yeah, it's 6:20 for us, so yeah, tea time. So you were saying, so one shed is it?
Yeah, man. Like, okay. I can make this happen. Like, I've already got a plan where I'm going to add a lot more storage in here. I've got it planned. I get chastised all the time in my comments. When's the next shed coming? When's the next shed coming? I'm like, y'all stop. This is it. This is it.
Where are you putting more? Are you going to go up? Well, you can't really go up more, surely. How are you squeezing more storage out of that?
All right, here's what I'm going to do. So, like, the shelves that are on the sidewalls right now, they're like 16 inches deep. Okay, I'm taking those out. I'm actually going to sell all those shelves to my guy. I talked to him today. He's going to buy all of them. They're like cheap plastic shelves. I'm going to replace all that with bookshelves that are 12 inches deep. All right, so I'm going to pick up an extra.
But you're losing. You're losing then. Are you not? Because they're thinner.
I am. They're thinner. But okay, here's what I'm going to do. You see these guys here, the big ones in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 18 inches deep, and they're huge. Okay, and you see above, I can go very, very vertical there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it thinner on the sides. I'm going to add another row. I'm going to slide this over a little bit. I'm going to add another row of these down the middle.
Okay.
The aisle is going to be a little bit smaller, but I'll be able to do it. I'm going to pick up I'm going to probably get like 30-40% more storage in here that way.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
So it's harebrained. I mean, but I got to do something.
You've just got to go for it, and you'll soon find out if it doesn't work, and you can change it. You can switch it up again, I'm sure. But yeah,
they roll.
I mean,
you know.
Overall, I mean, how long have you had your big green shed? I know it's not green on the outside, but
no, it's like gray or something on the outside. Since January? I think it was January when I got it.
And overall, what are your thoughts? Best thing you've ever done for your business?
Yeah, man, I'm learning. I mean, I'm learning stuff about, like, I would have done it differently from the start. But I tell you one thing, I love, like, my workbench here. I think this is awesome. It's on wheels. I'm going to put another 1 or 2 of these in here. I'm going to get rid of my desk. I see you have a bench. You have a workbench there too, right? Or 2 of them.
I put this together myself. There's a big old table that's like a table that's probably 50 years old that I got out of an old printing works that I've made fit. This is all kind of thrown together by me, really. That's I've just made it work, you know. But that table looks some serious chunky thing. Did you pick that up at, you know, did you source that at a yard sale or something?
I did. I paid $100. They were asking $100 for it, and then they had like some board games and puzzles and stuff. So I took a stack of board games and puzzles and I put it on top of the bench, and I said, "Is it still 100?" And he said yes, and then I bought it. No. But I like it.
That's a quality piece of furniture, though, right? That looks really chunky.
I found out, though. Do y'all have a store called Harbor Freight there?
Not that I know of.
Okay. I found out it was actually fairly inexpensive. It was only like $130 retail new.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, well. Let me just see if we've had any questions. Oh, Zahir's in. Hey, Zahir.
Hey, Zahir. What's up, man?
Good to see you. Just scrolling back, I think I probably missed a few questions. Apologies if we don't keep up with this. Okay, let's see if there's any. A lot of people saying hi to you. Someone from Italy, Lona Razvan Zaharia. I know I've messed that name up. So welcome. Yeah, from Italy. That's good to see. Oh, there was a question and I've just lost it. Oh, crap, where did that go? Oh, there's one I've just found. Question for Lonnie. What is your favorite sign behind you?
Oh, favorite sign? Easy. Favorite sign is right here. Thunder Inn. You see it, Nick?
Yes, yeah, I've highlighted it on you. Okay.
That's my favorite one right there.
So was that like a drive-in kind of restaurant or something like that, or what was that?
No, it's actually like an enlisted club or an officers club, one of the two, on an American air base. Like, can't remember which island it would be from. One of the Pacific islands where the United States had like an air base on it. That club was on the base where, you know, it would be a bar or whatever that was run for the guys to go drink at when they got off of work or whatever.
So that's quite a collector's piece then, surely. It's quite a valuable thing.
I would think. I mean, how do you find out how valuable? It's a one-of-a-kind thing. You know?
That's a case. If you ever did want to sell it, that's a case of make up a price and see what happens. Surely there's no way of knowing what someone would pay.
No, but you can see it's like it's just a handmade sign. I love it. I love that sign.
Oh, you can see where it's had different times and stuff on it.
Yeah.
They've overlaid.
Yeah. You see it's got like the military time, 1700 hours, you know, and stuff. It's cool. I love the piece.
No.
I feel like it has some history to it. Oh, and Steve and Steph sent me this one.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know. Some of y'all may know the significance of this. Some of you may not. I'm not going to go into it, but yeah.
I know that's their little phrase that they use at the end of their videos. I'm not sure about the image, but
yeah, we'll just leave it at that for now. Cool. We'll leave it a mystery.
King of the Pennies. I'm going to try and catch up on a few questions quick because I know I'm way behind. King of the Pennies, welcome. Good to see you. Says, question to you guys: when sourcing and you find something you're not sure of, would you pay somebody for advice or get an appraisal? for value or authenticity. Have you ever done that? Have you ever had anything appraised or valued that way?
I haven't, but I actually have a piece that I want to get. I may pay to get authenticated right now. I never have done it before. Have you?
No, but I do have a watch which I'm quite confident it's not going to be genuine, but it's one of those things. If it is, it could be worth a serious amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
But even as a fake one of these, which people do sell on eBay, which kind of freaked me out because I'm sure you're not supposed to go there. They're still worth a fair bit as a good replica. But yeah, I need to go and get that checked out, and just to confirm that it's not what I think. I don't know if I've got it to hand. What's your item anyway? Let me see if I can find it.
You know, it's cool though, Nick.
I don't know where it is. So what item are you thinking of getting appraised?
I have an autographed Michael Jordan poster that's vintage 1986 or something like that. And I don't know, I'm going to take a closer look at it first before I pay somebody to look at it, because it could be pretty pricey to get signatures authenticated.
Was that from your guy? Was that in that video? Yeah,
it was. And I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Michael Jordan's signature has changed a lot over the years. And it seemed like to me he never signed the same twice. But
yeah, and there's signature, I don't know much about. I have bought and sold them a little bit. I like most things. I've dabbled in most things over the years. But I mean, there's famous examples of, famous pop stars back in the day where their management would just scribble on pictures for them and hand them out.
Yeah, and it could be something like that. It could be his assistant or something did it.
There's all sorts of stuff that goes on. I mean, recently I bought a framed picture with all of the cast of Downton Abbey. Do you have Downton Abbey over there? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I mean, we have it on like Netflix or something.
Okay. And it was all signed, but we were pretty much sure that it was just a print of a photograph that had been reproduced. So I ended up sending it to a subscriber in the end. But yeah, and I've got a bunch of the entire Germany football World Cup team from like 20 years ago, all on cards, all hand signed, genuine. Can't sell it. Just doesn't seem to have any value at all. It's just really odd. I assumed I picked it up for next to nothing. It was at a car boot sale. I think I paid £1 or 50p for it, and a big framed print of another famous player. And I thought, I'm onto a winner here, and haven't sold them. They've been listed for like a year. Yeah, I keep dropping the price. I thought I was onto a winner, and I know nothing about signatures. But
to go back to that original question, though, is like one of the cool things about like Facebook and YouTube in general, and kind of like networking with people like we do here. I personally know experts in just about any field that I pick an item up in. I have somebody I can ask and get an answer from for free.
You're right.
Like, hey, what do you think about this? Is this purse look real?
Yeah.
I have people I can ask, man.
I don't think I've utilized that enough. I've always been a kind of do it myself, don't ask for help kind of person in my life and career generally. And I need to throw questions out there. I've started to try and do it, just little questions in videos like, do you know what this character is called, or do you this and that? I instantly get a response on that, and it's so helpful. But for the bigger questions, I mean, I've got a friend here in the UK called Edward who has a channel called Antiques Arena, and he's just overflowing with information on antiques. So I know I've got to know him very well. He's been on the channel a couple of times. So I need to keep that fresh in my mind, that even if I'm out about and looking at something, I could just text him and say, would you buy this? Or send a picture, you know what I mean? There and then.
I can't tell you how many times you've done this too. I know I've seen you do this, like with the wrestling figures, where that was the most baller move I've seen on YouTube. Yeah. Where you just you had no clue who any of these people were. And you just went 1, 2, 3, and then in the comments, your viewers told you exactly who they all were. Like,
the funny thing about that is, I obviously used the information. It was super helpful. I could have sat there for hours just wading through pictures, looking at the faces, but I got that information, listed them, and it really helped me to sell them. But that video, some kid somewhere answers that question almost on a daily basis. Even though there's hundreds of people that have listed them all, I assume it's kids, could be people our age. Just number one is so-and-so. Number two, it's almost like they see it as a challenge.
Well, it's like trivia, right? It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, but they're working.
That was back when we still had the clothing shop, and I was working out the back of the shop. So I had them all laid out the back. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I've crowdsourced info like that before too. Like I'll be like, this happens all the time. You're like, oh, what the heck is this thing? I can't figure this out. How's this work? And then I publish the video, and then 10,000 people watch the video.
Yeah.
Out of 10,000 people, there's probably about 10 experts on that thing that watch the video.
I tell you what, I'm getting now. I'm doing more of these, filming me looking at a stall of stuff and picking up what I think is the item to pick up. I'm getting the messages now. Nick, did you see what you missed on such and such a stall? You picked up this thing worth £10, and there was a £50 whatever over there, and you realise that we don't know half of what's out there.
Yeah. Nope.
And there's people watching, and they're picking me up all the time, and I'm glad they are. I'm trying to keep up and learn and watch back and see it. But have you had that in videos where people are like, you missed the best thing on that stall, etc.?
Absolutely. Every time I put a video up, it's like, yeah, you missed this, and this. And then I'm all proud of myself. Look what I got. And they're like, yeah, but look what you left behind.
Exactly that. And I must have said it till I'm blue in the face. I know I don't know everything. I know I'm not the best buyer. I know I'm not the best seller out there. I'm just an average bloke making this crap up as I go along. And it just proves it to me every time I put one of those out. I miss stuff.
That means you have room to grow, though, Nick. That means you have room to, it should be exciting. You can get better and learn more and make more money. You know what I mean? It's pretty exciting to me.
Absolutely. I saw some other question. Let me just, this chat thing is jumping. Quick one. What did you do before you were a reseller, Lonnie?
Well, the last job I had, very last job, and this is the one that drove me into reselling, I would say, is I lost my job before that. And I was tech support for Apple. I worked from home. They sent me an iMac, and I went through 6 weeks of training, and I worked for Apple, but I had a room in the house set up as an office, and I took support calls for iOS devices and stuff. And I did that for about a year, and I about went stark raving mad, and I quit, and now I'm doing this.
Was it the monotony of that, or the same questions all the time?
Dude, it was stressful, man.
Oh, right.
Apple, they have some of the best support out there. All of our support was US based, right? If somebody called, it would be a US based person like me answering the phone call, which is good. But we were micromanaged to death. We had to say certain things a certain way. We had to express, and we would be judged on how much empathy we showed that customer. They listen back to phone calls and pick them apart. And then I ended up, I got into management a little. I was a relief manager. Then I had to pick other people apart, and that was even worse. I hated it, and I about lost my, and I just had to get out, man. And so, yeah, it was not healthy.
Were you, as I did, reselling in the background at this point and thinking, maybe I could do this, maybe I could make this work, or was it just stop? And
I had sold off and on since the 90s, on the side. It's just kind of a side gig. So I kind of always had it in the back of my mind. And then I came across a few big scores right then. And I made some pretty good money, over a couple of weeks. And I was like, you know what? I could do that instead of doing that job I hate. I think I could give this a go. I went in cold, dude. I was not prepared.
Yeah.
And I just quit my job. I had a little money saved up, but
was Candace's reaction fantastic because you're stressed doing this, you need to get out? Was she scared as well?
Yeah, it was great, Nick. Let me tell you how that went down. Okay. She came home from work one day. I'm sitting on the couch. She walks in and she said, she goes, "Hey, how's it going? What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I quit. I quit my job today." We didn't talk about it or nothing, dude. Like I knew.
Really? Wow.
I reached a point, man. I reached a breaking point, and I knew it was now or never. It felt like it, dude. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And I decided right then. I'm like, I'm done.
In saying that, going back to the original question, thanks Betty for that, because she actually asked both of us. And if you don't know, my last full-time paid employment was as a police officer.
Yeah.
Andrea knew I was unhappy, but I had not talked about the decision. And the decision came like a bolt out of the blue. I was out on patrol and I quit on the job. So I turned up at home. I was on a night shift. I turned up at home. We had a baby, a newborn baby at that point. So Andrea's up early in the morning with her, and I walk in the door. And she just looks up and like, "What's going on? What's wrong?" I'm like, "I've just quit." And
we did the same thing.
She was the happiest person in the world there, because she's like, "Thank God, yes." She hated me doing the job.
Well, that's good, man. I remember you talking about that before, and it was a little. My experience was different. Candace was like, "What? What are?" She thought I was, dude. She was really worried, and her family. Oh my God.
Really?
Because in their eyes, I wasn't like going into business for myself. I was just some unemployed dude married to their daughter.
Yeah.
You know? So, which I understand. I get it. Like, but.
Well, of course, I think our family are always supportive, but you can sometimes tell in the back of their eyes, they're thinking, "You are crazy." Because I walked out on a job that I fought really hard to get in.
Yeah.
And it was a career for life. Andrea's working at Amazon. You know, potentially if you just stayed there, set up for life, you know what I mean? And we both walked out at the same time to do what?
Wow.
To start a business on eBay. And at that point, we're talking 2002. To a lot of people, it was, what's eBay?
Yeah.
It was that kind of, what, you know, it wasn't that people weren't supportive. They were saying the right things, but you could see in their eyes, they were thinking, "You are crazy."
And you know what, dude? You are crazy. I'm crazy too.
Yeah.
But golly, I can't tell you how I'm happy, man.
Well, there you go.
I'm freaking happy.
That's fantastic. You know it is the right thing then.
In the chat a few times have been asked, Lonnie, where did you finish your crown? No, I put a pretty good dent in it.
Nice. What is that stuff?
Crown Royal? Y'all don't have that over there?
Probably, but I don't know. Was it brandy?
It's like I guess a whiskey.
Oh.
Blended Canadian whiskey.
Nice.
It's pretty good. It's pretty smooth. I'll take a little hit.
Do you drink that straight?
You can put it on rocks, or maybe put a little water in it if you need to. Put it in a Coke if you like.
Yeah, whiskey and Coke would be my thing. I do like whiskey and Coke.
Yeah. Take a little hit right out the bottle. Ooh, that's good. So good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let me see if I can find any more questions before I get way behind. Wow, we've been going 39 minutes already.
Question, could you both continue should, God forbid, eBay fold?
Could we continue?
That's from George Ross.
Oh, George is in. Nice. I don't really fear that, because I've always just made things work. When I'm pushed and when I'm in a corner, I fight my way out, and I've always done that. And of course, that would be tough, because eBay is for most of the year our main income. Amazon kind of takes over for us in Q4. But yeah, it would be tough, but we'd make it work.
Dude, I've had so many jobs. I know how to do, like, I'm 40. We're about the same age. I know how to do so much stuff. I could get, it might not be a great job, but I could do something. I've been a phone man. I've been a wedding photographer. I've been a poker and craps dealer. I know how to do a lot of stuff, man. I'm employable. So I don't want to do it, but I could get a job if I had to.
Well, I was taking the question to mean, could we carry on this without eBay?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm actually not sure. Certainly not how I do it now. It would have to change a lot. I mean, I'm trying the local selling game a bit, and it's just so frustrating and so compared to eBay where everything's set up and you have a system. So yeah, no doubt I'd be fine and I could make ends meet, but whether I could do this without eBay is a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. But I imagine if eBay's not there, if eBay folded, well, something would take its place, obviously.
Yeah, maybe that would force Facebook's hand and they'd say, yeah, we're going to do this properly now. Do you still think Facebook are going to try that anyway?
I think so. Yeah. I think so. Eventually. We'll partner up somehow.
I just noticed there, eBay, the reselling guy is in. Welcome, says, question, has the Zahir and Nick weekly chat ended, as I don't see that anymore? Yeah, quite a while back. We had a really long run, which was fantastic, a good couple of years. We don't do the weekly chat anymore. Zahir and Beck do a Friday show, so go over and watch that. So yeah.
I used to love that show, man. That show that you and Zahir would do. Y'all had really good chemistry.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. I'm amazed looking back how long we kept that going, because it's not easy to keep something like this regular. That's why we've only committed to 2.
No, I've tried this, and I know how this works, man. I know how this goes. So that's why we'll see. We're going to do today and then next week, and then who knows?
Yeah. We've kind of answered this question, but Jonathan Angel asks, if I could ask Lonnie, did you have money saved up, or did you just have tons of inventory to resell when you quit your job?
I had a pretty good bit of money and very little knowledge of what it would take to. The only knowledge I had was from watching maybe 10 Nick Hills videos. So I had 10 Nick Hills videos in my head and a big wad of cash, and I quit my job.
I wouldn't advise that for anyone. Oh my God.
Seriously, dude. That's how I learned, man. I had resold some, but I didn't know you could. I never thought about selling games and toys and stuff like that until I saw your channel, and I'm like, wow, it's opened up a whole new world, Yeah. So
yeah,
I had that knowledge and a couple of grand. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's go.
I still get that regularly. I don't watch as many videos as I used to, weirdly, because there's almost too much content now. So I've kind of homed in on a few channels that really float my boat kind of thing. But yeah, I get that feeling regularly from seeing other people picking up completely different stuff to me. And it's like, oh, okay. And you've kind of filed that away. But yeah, regularly I get excited about new things and want to try and do it. I just wanted to read, where was it? This chat. Can't remember what it was, and it's just gone.
Ooh, I needed that little hit of crown there. I got my work cut out for me today. Ooh.
What have you got to do today? Sort out all the new stock?
I haven't shipped yet. I haven't even done. Yeah, I haven't shipped my orders out yet. So right after this, finish recording my little haul video thing, of course, and then I gotta record another video. Gonna pick some orders, and things are good. It's a good kind of busy though, man. Sourcing a bunch of good stuff, selling a bunch of good stuff, doing this show.
Yeah, mentioning videos. I mean, congratulations on your channel really taking off. I'm so excited about that. But you're doing a video a day. I mean, I've tried that, and that's a big commitment and a lot of work. How is that working or not working?
It's extremely hard. It's extremely difficult, but it's extremely rewarding. It works, man. If you're serious, I know you have a lot of content creators in your chat here. If you're serious about growing a channel and you really want to grow that sucker and you want to get better at editing and you want to get better at speaking on camera and you want it to happen fast, and you just make a video a day. And it'll happen. Yeah. I mean, but it's hard. It's really, really hard.
Yeah, I don't know how you fit it in. I remember we had conversations. We tried doing once weekly vlogs of what went on during the week. And the editing that built up through all of those clips, you know what it's like. And it's just too much, too daunting. And we were editing for hours. So it's getting a system down to quick edit, put it together and go. But I mean, I've just
it's called.
I was going to say, I've just had Sunday was the last video I put out. It's now Thursday. That's the longest break on YouTube I've taken in probably 4 or 5 years. But we needed the headspace. For those watching, I just before I went live with Lonnie, I'd just come home. I've been away with my wife, and it was amazing. We so needed that. Oh, we had a whale of a time. But yeah,
I get that, dude. And here's there are downsides to daily videos, and one is that my eBay has slipped. It's really been an effort to refocus on eBay to pick things up. You know, YouTube has gone bonkers, but eBay has slipped. And then, like, if you do a daily video, you can't always put out exactly maybe the quality you would want to make. You know, like, there's a limit to how much quality you can do on a daily basis. So there are concessions that have to be made.
With me, I find that YouTube comes in waves of enthusiasm and commitment, and then it recedes and then it comes back. Because, like you say, something has to give. So I focus really on eBay, or I focus really on Amazon, and then I get excited about doing a few videos again, and it's just, yeah, backwards and forwards for me. I need to say, I just noticed a little super chat bubble. Let me find it. RVA Flips has super chatted $4.99. Thank you so much. Says, fun stuff, guys. Lonnie day drinking.
Yeah, I never do this, by the way. That's one of your viewers asked about the crown. So
you've still got work to do. You'll be half cut in a minute. Ah, dear.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to slow down because I'm gonna have to drive to the post office in a couple hours.
Oh, Zahir says we mentioned that I used to do this chat with Zahir, or a similar thing with Zahir. It says, yes, that was super fun doing the chat, but sometimes you need to change. Exactly, everything changes and evolves, and if you don't change things up, it gets stale. So yeah, we had a great run, and I love doing it. I'm hoping this with Lonnie becomes a thing. You two are great together. Thanks, Z. That makes, yeah, that's good to hear. We shall see. Like we said,
we'll see. Like I love Nick right now. I think he likes me okay too, but next week we might be tired of each other already. We'll see.
There was a question I wanted to touch on, and I've lost it, saying there seems to be a lot of support for resellers in the UK and reseller YouTubers. Is that the case, or is that just how it comes across? I think generally that is the case. There's the occasional little bit of beef, but not a lot. I know in the US you've had spats between channels. Has that all calmed down again now?
I wouldn't exactly say that's calmed down.
Oh, really?
And I'm so
out of the loop. I didn't even know what. You know,
yeah,
it's
that's not. No, it's actually on fire right now.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I don't really want to know. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it, so it works out.
Yeah, I think we try and swerve that stuff as and when we can. It doesn't help anybody, I don't think. Jonathan Angel again is asking about how big are your workspaces. Well, you know exactly how big your workspace is.
Well, yeah, the exterior dimensions are 12 foot by 30 foot. Interior dimensions are 10'7" by probably 29.6.
Yeah.
So there we go.
And mine's similar, but a little bit thinner, I think. I should know, but I really don't know. And I was saying to Lonnie, I think before we went live, that I found on my computer all the pictures of the work in progress of building this, and the unit we used to rent before. I didn't know I had some pictures, but I took some pictures of that. So again, time permitting, I'm going to try and throw those together and talk over how and why we had this built, because I think that'll be an interesting video.
I remember when y'all did the retail space too, when you had the, what do you call it, the high street? Is that what you call it? You had that shop there. I mean, y'all put that together.
Yeah, that feels like a long time ago already.
Sort of, but was it 3 years ago or something?
Yeah, about 3 sounds about right. Maybe 4 now.
Wow, damn, man, you've been doing this a while.
Yeah. Well,
You might be the oldest. Are you like the most tenured YouTube reseller on YouTube almost? I mean, like,
I have no idea.
I think you might be, man.
We went full time in 2002, but I've been reselling for quite a while before that.
So when did you start your YouTube channel? Like when?
5 years about now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, let's find some more questions. Unless you had something you... Oh, I do have something I want to talk about, but I'll see if we've got any more questions before I get way behind.
Oh, I know what you want to talk about.
Yeah. Let's see. Nothing's jumping out. Hold on. Oh, it keeps jumping. Oh, they need to sort this out. Do you get that when you try and scroll the chat and then suddenly you're like 100 comments down?
I don't try. I don't even try. You're a good man, Nick. You're trying, man. Good job, dude.
I'm trying. Oh, yeah, it's just jumped. I don't know how far. Oh, well. I'll have to carry on from there. Right. And I'm at the end. Okay. I wanted to mention, and I think, again, I was saying to you just before we went live, you were on what you call an estate sale. That we don't really have those over here.
Okay. So if you don't have those, what happens? Like, what happens when people die and they have a house full of stuff and they want to sell the house, and they're like, what do they do with all the stuff?
I'm not really. There's several ways of dealing with it. We have house clearance firms. Generally, you will pay someone to come and clear the stuff, or if you've got loads of good stuff, there might be a deal to be done where they give you something and take it away. I've never had the experience of having to do it. The only experience I've had is when my grandfather died and the family cleared the house. Everything was distributed, and what was left, a house clearance firm came and cleared it all away. But we don't. I think it does happen, but it's not as common. Let me know if I'm wrong on this in the chat, if you're here in the UK. But it's not as common that you will open your house up and put price stickers on everything, which is essentially what happens over there, right?
That's what they do, man. These companies go in and they usually spend a week or two, going into the house, sorting everything out. It's probably a mess when they get in there, and they research and price everything. They put a lot of work into it, and then they have the sale. Usually it's like 3 or 4 days, and they sell everything in the house.
Did you say that a professional firm comes in and does that for them? Oh, yes. I see. Oh,
usually, sometimes the family does it, but most of the ones I go to, it's a company that goes in, and I don't know what the cut is that they keep.
Right.
I didn't. But they know. They know the value of stuff.
Yeah, Gary, Southwest Sellers, is saying, deceased estates. I go to several auctions that clear houses, lots of good deals. So that's one way, I guess. You just ship it all off to an auction company and they sell it to an auction house.
That would be easier for everybody involved, I guess.
Yeah, George says, I would love estate sales here. I would. I love watching those videos when yourself or someone else goes and you're wondering. It's a weird scenario, though. You're wandering around somebody's lifetime of stuff in their own home. It's a weird scenario.
The stuff kind of tells a story too. Like you can usually figure out, like, oh, well, this is like this lady died and it looks like she was alone when she died, and based on the stuff, I could tell that she looks like she might have been kind of lonely, or whatever. Or maybe this other person, world traveler. Looks like they didn't even spend much time at home, but they bought some cool stuff on. Or look, this guy was a pilot or whatever,
Well, yeah, and that leads us on to, perhaps this will be the last thing we'll chat about because it's 5:02 now. But what got us onto this subject was I watched the video where you are at one of these estate sales, so you're rummaging. At this point, I think literally rummaging through a wardrobe of clothes, and you go, this is interesting. And I said to you, I was like, yes, buy it. Do not put that back. Buy that. And what it was a scout uniform. So sorry if you've seen the videos. If you haven't, you must go and check them out. Do you want to kind of fill us in on that story? And talking about an estate sale, telling the story of a man's life, that was quite a man as well. So I'll let you explain what it was all about.
I'll do it really quick. But whenever I got the scout uniform home, I started, like, I have sold a little bit of that stuff before. Usually it's not a big deal. But this guy was like super decorated. He had a sash that had like, I can't remember, was it 60 something merit badges, which is a lot. They're hard to earn. And long story short, I ended up selling just the sash that you wear with all the merit badges. That ended up selling for $901. And I paid $3 for this stuff, right? The shirt sold for a couple $100. And then I still have I still have the 2 of the medals in this drawer. I have this medal right here. This is an Explorer Scout medal. I have it priced at about $1,000 or best offer. No action yet, but you know it'll probably sell $500-600, whatever.
Well, that's one of those things. You can sit on that as long as you like. Now you're so far in profit.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I'll start a collect, whatever.
The wonderful thing about that as well is that you kind of rescue that thing from obscurity, and you were able to tell that guy's story in a way. And he was like some super scout. He must have been potentially, you know, I'm not sure there's any records of scouts, but he must be mentioned in places because this guy,
he's up there. Yeah.
Yeah, he had all those merit badges, and then the medals. I don't know how many were given out, but you have to really go to the end of the earth to be a scout that gets those medals, right?
Yeah, you know what's funny? Today, from my guy that I buy stuff, he had a couple of scout uniforms. But look, this is a Cub Scout. It's like younger scouts, and this is a highly decorated Cub Scout uniform.
Yeah,
I haven't looked anything up, but look. Looks like he saw action. This little guy. Yeah. This little guy must have seen some heavy action. Maybe I don't know if we have a Purple Heart on here or what, but he's got all kind of stuff going on. Look, like a Mexican general going across here. So, and I've got a Boy Scout uniform here too.
So they're more modern then, by the look of it, yeah.
Yeah, This is probably like 1980s.
Okay,
something like that. He just said, "Hey, take those uniforms." It was like a throw-in kind of thing, you know, as my guy does.
And you said yes, especially on the back of that other deal. Wow.
I didn't say it like that. I said, oh, okay. But yeah, inside I was saying yes.
Fantastic.
You can't play it too straight, you know.
So I think, I mean, that was one of those pickups that comes along once in a blue moon and just blows your socks off, as we would say over here. It's just such a great find. Oh, have we lost you? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. Sometimes I do that, man. Like if I'm reading, I stay so still that people are like, assume I've frozen.
But yeah, I think, I mean, you know, one of the pickups of the year that we're going to see on videos, I think. It was just so exciting. And then because you auctioned it as well, you had that extra kind of drama of what's it going to go for. But didn't you have a non-paying bidder, or did they pay?
Yeah, it sold for like $911. And then they didn't pay. They strung me along. I opened up the non-paying bidder thing, you know, waited the time. And I submitted a second chance to like a reserve bidder, second highest bidder. And they accepted it and paid. And then I shipped it to them. And they left feedback immediately. It was like perfect. And I only sold it. It was only $10 less than the original winner. So it all worked out, man. It was good. I got lucky.
It's a really good tip if people are using auction. And way back in the day when we used to sell on auction, kind of in the Wild West days of eBay, before buy it now was really a thing, we used second chance offer all the time. If someone messed us around, we were like, that's it. I'm sending out second chance offers left, right, and center, because you want that sale. And while they're still vaguely interested and they haven't gone off somewhere else and bought it, you're like, you have to be quick on that stuff.
Well, that's one reason I was kind of upset, because they strung me along. Like if the original winning bidder would have said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't pay. I changed my mind, whatever," I would have been like a little angry, but I would have got over it, because it would have let me know that while it's still fresh, I can offer it up to those second chance bidders. Because the longer you wait, the less they want it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I got lucky, dude.
Because I always see a sale. I don't know if you do. A sale is just a moment in time. If you don't get that sale, and because I've worked in retail a lot, and I've never been taught this, but it's almost like you have to make that sale happen, because if they go on to something else, or you miss that moment, a sale is a moment in time. And yeah, it's key to strike while the iron's hot, basically, and yeah, make it happen.
I wish that that time, because you got to wait a couple of days before you can open the non-paying bidder thing, and then once you open it, you got to wait 3 more days to close it.
I can't remember exactly,
but it's like 5 days where your item is on ice. Like you can't because if you do offer it out to somebody else and sell it, and then that original buyer pays, you're screwed, because now you don't have the item anymore, and the other person paid. You got to cancel that. It's going to screw up your account. You know, I mean, it's a mess. So, I mean, they really put a hurt on you when they don't pay for stuff like that.
Yeah, there's nothing worse. James Payne is in. Hi there. Says, what a collab. Recently got into Garage Flips videos. He got a Nintendo for $1.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that, because I got so much heat for that. It was an older lady in her garage.
I saw the video.
Yeah, and I found I caught that video has like over 100 thumbs down, which I don't care about that too much, but I basically got
because you paid not enough, because it was that's what she asked for, was it? Or I can't remember.
No, well, they basically said I was taking advantage of the elderly. So this is uncomfortable. I know, I get it, but I said, hey, do you have any video games or Nintendo or anything? She says, I have a Nintendo on the shelf over there, which I couldn't believe. I couldn't believe she had one. I grabbed it, dude. It was an old yellow-looking console only.
No leads.
No, nothing. No controls, no games, no nothing. Bare console, man. And like, I knew I was not even going to test this thing, right? I was just going to sell it as is, console only. That was my plan all along. So I said, hey, what do you want for this? $1? And she said, yeah, that's fine. And so I paid her. I mean, and then I got beat up for that. I ended up selling this thing for $18, Nick. $18.
Yeah.
Is it that big of a deal?
It's interesting because I've been getting, I did a couple of videos where we were talking about the GoPro. So I'm around at boot sales, and I did one where I picked up, like, for example, I picked up a Jurassic Park dinosaur for a couple of pounds or whatever. And then I've annotated it. These have been selling on eBay for about £50. And I did that through the video. So it's like, this was a good deal, this wasn't such a good deal. It just gives it a little bit of context to it, like you've done, where you put your little sales results in and stuff. And one of those videos really had some reach beyond my channel, and I think it was reaching non-resellers or people who didn't really understand it. The amount of comments saying, this guy's just ripping people off, this guy's a spammer, this guy's, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can't really argue against that as an opinion, but I rarely get confronted with that. You know, our game is we try and buy stuff as cheaply as we can and sell it for as much as we can, and we're used to that world. But sometimes I think people come into this world and they go, they're ripping
it's an ugly world.
Yeah.
I think it's like, maybe we don't realize it because we're entrenched in it, but maybe we are just like friggin'. We are bloodthirsty predators, just like going after that lowest price, and maybe we're worse than we know. I don't know, man. Like,
maybe, yeah.
Maybe I'm like really. I don't know, dude. Like, it catches me off guard every time that happens.
Let's see what people are saying. My last Miu 2, that's a camera. I don't know if you have those over there. Miu 2 is a little camera. I sold that yesterday. I'll show you in a sec.
I heard that from Zahir.
Yes, that's the one. My last Miu 2 cost £1, says Peeps Retro Collectibles. Am I a thief? No. And I sold one either this morning or last night. Let me show you. My finance system works. Look straight to it. I paid a couple of pounds for this, and it sold for £80.
Wow.
And I can imagine people saying, you're ripping people off. But it's like, are we?
Nah.
I don't know.
Who cares? I don't care. I really don't care. At some point, you gotta, like, I'm good with it, but it catches me off guard sometimes. Though.
Landshark Picker says, shouldn't that be our objective when sourcing? Get items as cheap as we can. And I would kind of say yes, because every dollar or pound you get off is an extra dollar or pound potentially you're going to make. And a lot of times, this is what I'd add to that. A lot of times, we don't look an item up. With that Nintendo, for example, you don't know if it's working. It might be a waste of, you know what I mean? You have to swing the odds in your favor by getting it as cheap as you can, because we all make bad buys, and that adds up over time. So, yeah, I do try and haggle and push the boundary a little bit. Whether I go too far sometimes is a question that's, you know, who knows.
I do, man. I'm really competitive though, Nick. So I do go too far. I think what really hurt that video in some people's minds is that it was an older lady.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if it would have been a young person, saying everything exact same, that would have been a 40-year-old dude in that garage that I bought from. I wouldn't have heard a peep out of anybody. You know, it was the fact that it was an older lady.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
You know. But I believe in equality though, so I want to treat her like I would anybody else I would deal with at a yard sale. So.
I love that. I believe in equality. I'm going to go hard on everyone. There's Damien saying it's in your DNA. And I think that, yeah, the wheeler dealer, as we would put it in the UK, and kind of mental attitude to buy cheap, sell high. I think it's in you from the start. You can learn it, but I think, yeah, there's a lot of interesting comments coming in. It's business, end of story, says RJ. And that's fair enough.
No, dude, for me, it's like literally, I look at it as a game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game. Like when I go out sourcing, I'm thinking, it's like a golf score. I want it to be as low as possible. And it's just I don't know. It's a game for me, dude. It's not even the money. And in the moment, it's not the money. It's a challenge.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I refer to what I do as a game quite often. And I see it as a game that you can't really win, but you can get better at, and you can. I'm only ever really competing against myself as well.
Right.
I'm not seeing that I'm competing against you, or I want to be better than someone else that I know that resells. It's just the game is that I start with this amount of money and I want to turn that into as much as I can. That's the game. It's as simple as that. So yeah. Well, I'm going to have to wrap this up because I am exhausted, hungry. I drove. I don't know if we explained, but we did explain. I was away with Andrea. We took a break, and I drove back from Norfolk. Those in the UK will know what I mean. Back to Hitchin. It took over 2 hours. I walked in the door, messaged Lonnie, and went live. Basically, that's kind of how it went. So I'm shattered. But that was fantastic. Thank you so much, Lonnie. I'm glad we did this. Me too, man. I enjoyed it. Your audience is awesome. They a lot of people saying nice things about this little collaboration. I appreciate it, y'all. Good. Appreciate y'all watching too. Yeah. I did really enjoy that. Thank you for all your comments and questions. I know we didn't read many out, but we try. The plan at the moment is the Thursday show on this channel for the time being is going to do what we used to do was here. It's going to switch to Lonnie. So same time slot if we can. That'll work. Yeah. I mean, tentatively, unless something crazy happens. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So same time if you're watching the UK, 6 p.m., whatever that is for Lonnie. I don't know what time that is for you over there. It's noon. It's 12 o'clock Central, noon Central. Okay. Here. So noon Central American. And we're going to see how that goes and alternate. If we want to carry it on, we'll carry on alternating. If it fizzles out, it does. That's absolutely fine. Let us know what you think. If you're watching this after the fact, drop us a comment. Let you know perhaps what you'd like to see us talk about in these videos, or give us some ideas, because we're just winging it. We'll always have something to talk about, dude. We're doing cool stuff all week long. I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it just remains to be said, thank you. I do appreciate the time, Lonnie. Thank you for everyone who's watched live. If you're watching after, drop us a message. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. And if you haven't already, check out Lonnie's channel. There will be a link below once I put it there. Bye, everyone. Bye, guys.